Hello，你好，欢迎回来，Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday with Johnny Tiger. Today's date is May 14, 2025. Before we begin, let me quickly announce this again because it is a big deal. To me, it is really a big deal. Some of you already saw my post, but for those of you who didn't, my solo art show, my first ever solo art show, is currently going on here in Richmond, British Columbia. 22 pieces of artworks from the Tiger Tactile Zodiac Crossroads series is on display at the Richmond Annex Gallery over at Richmond Cultural Center. The address, I believe it's 7660 Mineral Gate in Richmond, and you can see it from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Each piece can be looked at, touched, and even purchased. So those of you who are local, I hope you get a chance to drop by and check out the artwork. Speaking of art, today we're going to look at a completely different kind of art form. I am going to talk to you guys a little bit about Chinese stage play or Chinese stage opera. In Mandarin, we call it Jinju. So just think about Jin and then the letter G, Jinju. It translates to Beijing style opera, Beijing style uh, stage play. Now, even though it is called the Beijing style opera, Beijing style stage play, it is commonly called Chinese stage play, Chinese opera, because it is very representational of most of the stage play and stage opera that's been going on in China uh, uh, for the last 2,000, 3,000 years. And it has evolved somewhat, but still it is very archaic and well, let me just say this outright. I personally can't stand it. I hated it when I was a child. I still can't stand it. Like I think it's really whiny. I hate the tone they use, and I can never understand what they are singing. Uh, yeah, but maybe you guys would like the way it sounds. I'm going to here show you guys a little clip of Jinju so you guys know what we are talking about. Okay, so we'll be right back. Here's a little example.
一夕当年泪不干，彩楼绣球配良缘，贫贵享了红总盏，唐王考封杜甫官，洗了锅，造了饭，你的府上宴大本餐，逼我陪挂到阵前，车三鸳鸯听过一遍，黄沙滚，红颜漫，到头来我反绑枷锁在岸，那一日兵荒马燕显罗山，才知道三界受煎啊，我的心往事报传。
Yeah, okay, so that is a example of Jinju, what it sounds like. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but personally, I would rather do 1 hour of push-up rather than listening to 1 hour of that. It drives me crazy when I hear that. Uh, so I I feel bad saying that because it is a big part of my culture, and I almost feel like obligated to like it. But it is what it is. I can't understand it. I think it's noisy. I don't I definitely don't get to enjoy the visual element. So yeah, not for me. But today we're going to talk about some of the strange rules on the stage in the theater for these stage play, stage opera actors, actresses, um, and how weird some of these rules are. Why am I talking about these rules even though I would never be a Chinese stage actor and most of you will probably not have to memorize these rules? Because I think these rule set um, beautifully illustrate just how rigid the Chinese society is around ceremony and rules. You see, because a lot of time people hear me talk about Chinese superstitions and rules and customs, and people want to challenge that. Okay, like for example, there's a custom that you're not supposed to count the dumpling before you eat it. When you're cooking dumpling, you're not supposed to count it because it will lead to bad fortune. I get challenged on that one all the time. A lot of people are like, who says who, who made this up? What kind of dumpling? Uh, and how old is this rule? And it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Look, I know it's stupid. I didn't make the rule. I like but you know what? If if you tell me that if I count the dumplings, it's going to bring me bad fortune, then I much rather not count it. I don't want to take the chance. That's all. So it's like walking under the ladder, walking under the ladder or stuff like that. If you can avoid bad luck, why wouldn't you? Why would you want to test that? Um, so for as long as Chinese people has been around, over 5,000 years of history, they had time to figure out a lot of rules and regulations and taboos and stuff like that. Do a lot of them not make sense? Yes. But if we go back to when these rules came into effect, back then, maybe they would make sense. I don't know. I don't know. Like I I can sit here and talk about every culture and their rules and their superstitions don't make sense and all that stuff all day long. We can throw stones at each other's culture all day long. But the fact is, none of us made up the rule. Whether you follow it or not follow it, it's up to you. For me, a lot of time these rules are more like a gateway into the past. These rules give me a bit of an understanding into the society and culture that I'm studying. Take today's Wisdom Wednesday, for example. I'm going to tell you some of these taboos and superstitions on the stage and theaters for Chinese stage play, for Chinese opera. Not because I want you to memorize them and follow them, but because I want to show you that these rules and regulations, as stupid as they sound, are still followed today. And when we are talking about an industry that make billions of dollars every year, but people are still bound by these old rules and regulations. And if you break them, then it's quite likely that you're going to end your career. Okay, that's how serious these rules and regulations are taken in the Chinese culture. So here we go. Number one, okay, the first rule that if you are a Chinese stage play actor or actresses, number one rule you do not want to break is any kind of chess game or checker game is not allowed in the backstage. So while you are taking your break, while you are eating lunch, it's not okay to play chess or checker. Why is that? Because when you play chess and checker, there's a rhythm, there's an energy of you go first, okay, I go. Okay, you go. Your turn. Okay, I go. Okay, you go. Oh, you go. I go. And this energy is said to um, breed bad energy among the actors and actresses. There's too much competition. If you lose, you might have bad feeling toward each other. And also, the act of you go, I go, you go, I go symbolizes the group is breaking up. You are leaving. You are leaving the cast. I'm leaving the cast. You're going. I'm going. So that is like extremely bad energy, bad form in the backstage. So any kind of chess game, checker game that require uh, taking turns and you go, I go, your turn, my turn, that kind of stuff is not allowed in the backstage for Chinese theater. Number two, for the longest time, umbrellas are not allowed in the backstage for a Chinese theater. So even when it's raining and you just came in from the rain, you have to leave your umbrella outside. You can't bring it to the backstage. Why? Because umbrella in Mandarin is called san, and just coincidentally, san also means breaking up, break apart. Uh, well, a lot of time when we are hanging out with our friend, and it's time for everyone to go home, everyone to go bye bye. 我是散了，散了，散了，uh, and that means okay, well, break up the party. So that is a really big no-no in the backstage for Chinese drama, Chinese theater, because if you keep saying "san," you keep saying breaking up, then you are summoning the negative energy to break up your cast, to break up your play, and you will run into people getting hurt, people leaving, people dying, and stuff like that. Now, interestingly enough, a couple of older actors have found a way to negate this one. So nowadays, you can bring umbrella into the backstage, but only umbrella that are made out of cloth. So the top or the opening part of the umbrella have to be some kind of cloth, not other like none of that uh, uh, waxy material or whatever. The reason is they are using the word cloth. The word for cloth in Mandarin is bu. Okay, so cloth umbrella is busan, busan. Now, so those of you who know your Mandarin would know that bu also means no, negative, not. Okay, so when you say busan, busan, you mean no break apart, no break apart. So it's okay, that's fine. You're here saying we are not going to break apart, negative, no break apart. Busan, busan. So cloth umbrella are okay. Just to show that some of these rules can be overcome or broken if you find a legit way to make them sound good. Number three, cats are not allowed in the backstage. It doesn't matter if you are a cat lover, if you brought your cat with you to work, or if you're a stray cat just get into the backstage. It's a no-no. That stray cat have to the cat have to get thrown out of there. Um, Reason being that traditionally speaking, uh, Chinese actors and actresses worship rodents. Mice, rats, they are considered good luck charms. They are like money gods. They are good fortune for Chinese stage play actors and actresses. So why are rodents seen as good luck charms? Because if you are so poor that you can't even afford food, there's no food in the backstage, obviously you won't have rats or rodents. The reason that you would have rats and mice and is because you obviously have uh, abundance of food, breadcrumbs, cookies, and chocolate, and candies, and cakes, and stuff like that. That's when rat and rodent, when rodents would appear. So having rodents around is a symbol that your company is doing really, really good. So cats, being the natural enemy for rodents, is not allowed in the backstage because if the cat is there, there's no more rodent, and no more rodents probably would symbolize that your uh, play is not doing very good and you are not having enough food. Number four, this one kind of interesting. Well, I mean, to me, they're all interesting, but to me, this one is actually extra interesting. Number four, whenever there is a disagreement in the backstage, whenever there's an argument, a fight, whatever the drummer says is the final verdict. So the drummer get to call the shot. No matter if you are the guy who own the theater, no matter if you are one of the lead actors or lead actresses, no matter how important you are, if there's a disagreement, the guy who is on the drum get to have the final say. Why is that? Well, because when you think about it, if your whole um, play, if your whole musical is based on rhythm, and the drummer is a person that gives you cues on if you hear this beat, it's time for you to move to the left. If you hear this beat, it's time for you to draw your sword. Like a lot of stuff is controlled by the drummer. So obviously, the drummer actually have the ultimate control over how good your musical, how good your play is going to go. If you mess with the drummer, then the drummer can give you the wrong cue at the wrong time and really mess up your whole production. So even though the drummer doesn't get the highest pay and the drummer doesn't get the best food or the best notoriety, the best reputation, the drummers in these stage play, they're like the ultimate godfathers. Whatever they say is the final word. Number five, speaking of arguments and having fights, even when you have an argument, even when you are fighting in backstage, there's a decorum you have to follow. Otherwise, you will jeopardize your entire career. It is that serious. And yes, it is still this way today. There have been actors and actresses uh, who broke this rule and then lost their career for the rest of their life. They can never be on the stage again. It is that serious. Okay? So when you have an argument or a fight, a disagreement in the backstage, you are not allowed to you're not allowed to stamp your foot and just start cussing, right? If you say, I am so fed up with this, if you do something like this, then sorry, grab your stuff. You're going to uh, get your final payment, and you're going to leave the group, and you will get blacklisted forever in the entire circle. You'll get banned from ever appear on any stage in China because when you when you stamp your foot down like that, you're disrespecting the land you walk on. You're disrespecting the stage. The stage is where you make your living. And if you disrespect the stage, you disrespect everybody in this circle. You basically just cuss at the entire entertainment industry. You just called everybody a name, and that is not okay. So if you have no self control, that if you lose your shit and you stamp your foot and do something like that. Or if you grab one of the nearby props, like let's say you are in a stage play and you have a like maybe there's a prop sword or something that's beside you, and you just grab that and you smack that on the table and the floor. I'm so fed up with this. Okay, same thing. You just disrespected your prop. You just disrespected that table. You just disrespected everyone around you. So sorry, take your stuff, get your final payment, go. You will never appear on theater ever again. So how are you supposed to argue? Now, obviously they disagree. Obviously they have fights. So when you are an actor or actress in the Chinese play, Chinese opera theater, you have to be very specific before you start cussing the person out. It is okay to cuss the person out, but before you start, you have to make an announcement. You got to proclaim, I am very disappointed. I'm very angry at this point. Okay, I'm not angry at you, at you, at you. You're all good friends. You're all good people. But there's someone here who's not even fit to be human being. There's someone here that I'm very angry at, and it is just at this person that I am going to get mad at. I'm going to say what I'm going to say right now. The rest of you, you are all good friends. Right? You got to loudly proclaim that. You got to show that you have at least have enough self-control to get that out of the way before. Okay, now you're still mad. Go ahead. You can cuss that person out. But remember, don't disrespect the floor. Don't stamp your foot, and don't throw things. Don't smack the table, or don't use the prop to take your anger out on. Now, if you brought your own backpack, okay, if you have your own backpack or your own lunchbox, and you smack your lunchbox, that's fine. That's yours. You disrespect it all you want, but it is not okay to take it out on the stage, on the floor, or any of the props. Last but not least, it is not okay to play with another person's headgear. Okay? Uh, so while you're waiting for your part, while you're getting dressed, everyone's getting into their costume. If you want to mess with someone else's sword, that's fine. Although a lot of people will say, leave my shit alone. But there's no actual rule that say you can't take that sword over there and just mess around with it, as long as you don't break it. But the exception is if there's a crown, a helmet, a hat, any kind of headgear, you're not allowed to mess with someone else's headgear. Okay? If you mess with someone's headgear, let's say you are getting dressed, you're waiting around, and then you see that beautiful crown sitting there on the table, and you're like, ooh, I wonder what I would look like wearing that. And you put that on your head, then you don't get surprised if you get your pay deducted, because this is a big no-no in Chinese society, not just in theater, but in Chinese society. It's very important to know your place. Everything has its place. Everyone has their station in life. And when you put on a hat, a headdress, a helmet, a crown that is not yours, you are messing up the natural order. So now that you messed up that natural order, the person who's supposed to play that role going to come in, and when they put on that helmet or crown, they go out there in front of the audience. If something happened to them, if something go wrong and they trip and fall, or they have an accident, then it's your fault because you messed up the natural flow of energy associated with that piece of outfit. Okay. Now I did say this was the last one, but it's really not. Like there's if I want to sit here and tell you every one of these rules and regulations from the Chinese stage and Chinese theater, we can do 3 episodes on these things. But I picked these six because they are the ones that I actually know a little bit about. Why not? But there's a lot of other ones that were just told to me, but I never did figure out. Like no one ever told me why the hell not. Um, for example, uh, one of the another rule is if you need somewhere to sit backstage, if you're looking for somewhere to sit, and there's two chests side by side, you need to either sit on the left one or right one. You cannot sit on both. You cannot have like you cannot have your ass on both chests and sit across the gap in between. That is a big taboo. But like I said, I never did figure out why is that. Like what's the logic behind that? Um, another another interesting one is no matter how late everyone is, until the clown is dressed, until the clown finish their makeup, no one else is allowed to start getting dressed and getting their makeup put on. So the clown is always the first. They have to be the first. Even if you're late, even if the audience is waiting, you're you're being booed by the audience because you're not on stage. You have to wait. If the clown is not done, no one else can move. That is another really interesting one, but I never did figure out why is that. Why can't everybody just get dressed and put on makeup at the same time? So there, I'm not even exaggerating. Hundreds of these rules that you have to obey. Uh, if any of you ever read Jackie Chan's autobiography, he talked about growing up trained in these theaters, in Chinese theater, Chinese drama. He talked about how hard his life was. Anytime you break one of these rules, they smack the shit out of you. Anytime you break these rules, no dinner, no lunch, or you're not going to get paid this month. It's just like almost like being in jail. There's rules on top of rules on top of rules, and most of them they don't tell you why. They just say don't do this, and you don't get to ask why. So I hope that this episode has been a little bit interesting. It was definitely interesting for me when I was researching these little factoids about the Jingju, the Chinese stage play. Um, like I said, Chinese culture is very big on ceremonies and rules and taboos and superstitions. I didn't make these rules. I just choose to study them, and sometimes I follow them. Thank you for checking out today's Wisdom Wednesday. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully. And well, I'll see you guys later. For now, 谢谢 and 再见。